A woman was touching up her makeup in the reflection of a parked car window. The next second, the window suddenly rolled down, and sitting inside was her first love. The CEO was just as shocked to see her. Fortunately, he recovered quickly and drove off immediately. The two actually lived close to each other, but this was their first encounter since breaking up 5 years ago. After that, they kept running into each other more and more. When the CEO fell off his bike, the woman happened to spot him on her way home from work. When she was about to catch a cab, the person getting out was the CEO, on crutches. That evening, they bumped into each other again at the supermarket. All these coincidences made the CEO suspect she was stalking him. She didn't know whether to laugh or cry at the accusation. What neither of them expected was that the woman would show up at his door the very next day. Her company had assigned her to contact a well-known illustrator. Following the address, she arrived at the location and knocked. The CEO answered the door. They both froze. He still politely invited her in and asked what brought her there. She explained she was looking for the famous illustrator. The CEO's face lit up with smugness. She looked at him helplessly, emphasizing she was there for business and hoping he could separate personal feelings from work. With a blank expression, the CEO told her he wouldn't accept any collaboration, first, because he didn't like being in the public eye, and second, because of her. She grew even more exasperated. Just as she was about to try convincing him, he kicked her out. She complained angrily at his doorstep. The next second, he opened the door and threw salt at her and sprayed her with water. She looked utterly defeated. She remembered when they were together, she'd once asked him what he'd do if they broke up. He said he'd throw salt and spray water at her. She thought his idea was childish, but he'd seriously warned her never to break up with him. Yet not long after, she was the one who ended things. After the breakup, the CEO was consumed by grief. He threw his money into the stock market and lost everything. Only then did he start working around the clock as an illustrator to pay off his debts. Seeing no hope for the collaboration, the woman prepared to leave. Just when she was about to give up, a documentary they'd filmed together 10 years ago suddenly went viral again. Viewers were curious about where they were now. The director wanted to invite them both to film a sequel. The CEO refused, afraid he'd fall for her all over again during filming. When he heard she'd also turned it down, his competitive side kicked in. He agreed to the collaboration, but on one condition: she had to film the documentary with him. She reluctantly agreed. 5 years after their breakup, the ex-couple was working together again. The director and crew had no idea how to handle the awkwardness except for the CEO, who looked completely smug.